Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizTalk World talk show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today, we have Olga Guseva with us. She is managing partner of Integria Consult, one of the few consulting companies in Russia focused on customer experience. She's an international customer experience strategy expert and customer-centric culture transformation specialist as well. In her list of success, she's also the co-author of Customer Experience and Customer Experience 2 books, bestsellers in customer service category in US, UK, Mexico, and Canada on Amazon. So I guess I've tried my level best to cover as much as I could, but it's time to introduce you to the lady herself. So without further ado, let me introduce you to her. Hello, Olga. How are you doing?
Hello, Sagar. Hello, everyone who is listening to our conversation now or who's going to see it recorded. So it's my real pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure of ours. And I guess our viewers will learn a lot of things about your profile and, of course, about the generic part of the industry as well. So without further ado, Olga, I've tried my level best. I really apologize if I missed anything from your bio. I know I have missed a lot, but I just tried to cover the star points out of them. But it would be great if you can start the conversation right from there. I mean, if you can brief us about your journey so far. I mean, how you came up, so long and so far.
Okay, so basically my story as a CX specialist, I've studied from marketing. I've been a marketing professional for more than 20 years, so working in various companies, and I got education as a marketeer. I studied first in Russia, then I got my MBA in the United States, also in the field of marketing. And I spent a number of years working with different companies, Russian and international companies. I used to work with brands like BRP, Bombardier Recreational Products, and I've spent more than 6 years with British Airways, managing marketing on a European level. And as I was working as a marketeer, at some point I had a feeling that something is really missing, because marketing is very much concentrated on acquiring new customers, bringing new business to the company, while we pay less attention to the people who are with us already. Yes, there are loyalty programs, but it's always like a secondary task for marketeers to take care of the customers who are already with the company. And the companies tend to think that those people are their customers, as if they own them. But in fact, they don't. They don't own the customer. They just own the little moments of interaction between the customer and the company. And depending on the quality of this interaction, what depends is whether the customer will come back or not, whether they will pay money again or not. So in my view, marketing was missing a little bit on that. So I was really interested, how can we keep customers within the company, how to keep them happy. And this is what brought me to the world of customer experience.
That's sweet and simple. Actually, that was pretty generous of you explaining this journey in such a nutshell. All right, so I would really ask you, I mean, you must have managed great teams. I mean, dealing with customers is the greatest task, I should say. I mean, it's not that easy, because that's the ultimate source from where you're going to get the reviews, or generate your revenue and so on and so forth. How you really try to manage the time, and how you manage the value creation in that segment. I mean, what's your time management mantra on that segment?
Okay, I have to confess, I'm not a big guru in time management, and that's my development zone as well, because there are always so many exciting projects you want to undertake. And as we grow as the company, we have more projects, more exciting companies, more exciting tasks we are getting, and it's getting more and more and more. So you grow in capability, but also the requirements are growing. So time management is always an issue. So my personal mantra is, first of all, keep it simple and always know your priorities, because you can never do everything. And as one of my teachers and coaches love to say, you are not $100 banknote so that everyone loves you. And this is really true. you have to select the priorities, both in professional and personal life, in order to concentrate on the most vital, on the most important things, things that bring value to yourself, to your family, and to your customers, and relentlessly get rid of everything that's not really bringing value. So that's my personal, I would say, mantra of managing time, is really having right priorities. And when you do something, I'm trying to concentrate 100% on what I'm doing. If I'm with a client, if I'm talking with a client, I'm 100% with the client. I'm trying to be as attentive and as understanding as possible. I'm not multitasking, because it's really important to invest this period of time into understanding this customer best, what are the needs, what are the requirements, etc., and then switching to another task. So the rule number 2 is don't multitask, and concentrate 100% of your attention to the task you're doing now.
I mean, the confusion here is because, when we talk to several individuals from Vietnam, from States, from Mexico, and from now from Russia, of course, everyone has their different approach. But the only thing that is, I should say, common is the goal. Everybody have different approach. They know where to reach, but how to reach is a different journey. So somebody, people make to-do list and they try to prioritize their work on day-to-day basis. Some people love doing, the way you said, multitasking, but you said that. So for you, the rule number 2 is do not really multitask. And that's what I want our basically viewers to understand. Please do not really follow someone. Just understand the concept. Understand the concept of all the questions that we have and all the interaction that we are doing. Just do not really focus on the second rule of Olga. Just try to understand the psyche behind that. All right.
You know what I really enjoy? I love the book of Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Efficient People. And the tool he's presenting there, that was actually created by Eisenhower a long time ago. It was used initially for the military purpose in the United States, and then it came to a business world, is to splitting all your tasks into 4 categories. And the axis you are using for it is the level of urgency and the level of importance. And you spread all your daily tasks or weekly tasks, it's up to you, across these 4 segments. And the idea is to really take care of important things before they get urgent. So that's what it's like with your health, for example. It's so easy to say, okay, I'm tired today, I'm not going to do training. I'm not going to go for a walk or for a jogging because, I have other urgent things to do. But sooner or later, your body tells you, hello, I'm here. And now I require your urgent attention. And then it becomes urgent. So the idea is really do important things before they get urgent. And really don't do non-urgent and non-important things.
That's a very, very nice line that I really learned today. I guess we have to keep the title of the video is what you said just now. Like, don't let important work become urgent. And that's a very simple and yet important thing to understand. Right. Yeah. Great. So, Olga, you have, quite a great number of experience with you. I mean, understanding different industries, understanding individuals, understanding different customers as well. Why and how you came up and landed to, your focus towards customer experience as a professional interest? I mean, it's not something that really people focus on or really people want to do. How you came up to this? Because it's not a really easy task as much as I understand.
Yeah, compared, for example, to classical management or finance or marketing, CX is relatively new profession. And actually the first chief customer officer, actually the first person who was professionally doing customer experience, appeared just 20 years ago in the United States. So the profession is really young. And you won't see MBA classes or scientific degrees in customer experience so far. But on the other side, that's one of the oldest professions in the world, because as long as the world got customers, the customer experience have appeared. And actually the very first mention of customer experience, it goes back to the very ancient Babylon times. And there is a fantastic book written by Brian Horn. And he mentions that the first mention of customer experience goes back to those old times, and it was written on a clay table, a complaint from a customer complaining about the quality of products. So basically, the need for good customer experience, it existed always. It's just now we are bringing it to the level of science, understanding the rules, finding methodologies, solutions, and really like supporting it with numbers to make it efficient, to make it working, so that every single company can benefit from it and make customer experience better.
That story was really interesting, I guess. I believe everything that we are doing is somewhere or the other collected to like a great past that we already had and we really know about. But it's just the scientific innovations and discoveries that we guys are now keep on doing. And my next question would be directly or indirectly related to this. It's a random question. I hope that we can have a better answer on this. Do you believe it's the customers who are driving the innovation, whether it's about a service or a product, or is it the organization who's driving the customers to use the innovative service or product?
Well, this is a very great question that doesn't have straight answer, but I really like the saying of one of the business gurus. I think it was Henry Ford, who said that if we would always be listening to our customers, we would breed a very powerful horse and a strong horse, and we would never have automobiles. So basically, in a way, customers really help drive innovation in products and services, but it's not only customers. I would say it's probably the interaction between the company and the customers. This is where the real innovation is born. So it cannot happen only on company side, because then the company invents something that has no value for the customers. If it relies solely on customers, then it's also limited, because customers can wish only something that they can imagine, and they cannot invent something completely different. So when the company comes together with the customers, and the co-creation starts, this is where true innovation is born.
That's a beautiful answer. One last thing, again, a random question. Can you explain to our viewers what's the importance of the review process, and how important is it for a review process to be transparent?
You mean what kind of review?
Let's say a service review or a product review.
Meaning how frequently and how the company shall look back and ask themselves how good the product or the service for the customers. That's what you mean?
Exactly. What should be the time interval of asking customers, because not every service has the review options with them. So do you think that it should be a compensation for organizations to understand from the standpoint of customer experience as well, to grow up their market and their reach?
Well, actually, when we talk about it's actually, we are talking now about voice of the customer strategy. When the company collects information, whether customers love the product or not that much. And the question is how frequently and how shall we collect all this information? And I would say that in the ideal world, the company shall always be open to customer feedback, and it should collect as much customer feedback as it can process. Because actually customers have numerous channels to express their opinion about the product. They can reply to a survey, and you as a company can manage how frequently you issue those surveys and what kind of questions you ask. It's so-called reactive feedback, when customers react to your questions. But there is also a proactive feedback, when customers are just calling you, asking questions to your call center. They're sending you emails or WhatsApp chat messages. They can ask questions in social media, or they can just give feedback, not even to your company, but to the world, going to review websites and giving good or bad ratings to this company. And actually, the modern world requires from a company to be very open to all possible channels of customer feedback. The company should have them open for the customers. So it's easy for the customers to talk with the company. And the customer knows that whatever channel he or she is selecting, she's going to be heard. And that the company can deal with this information in correct and timely way. And it's really not that easy as it may seem, because there are different channels and different communication style in each channel. And it requires the experience and knowledge from the company how to manage all these channels. But now it really becomes important, necessary for the company to know how to do that. Otherwise, it risks just losing touch with the customers and doing something that's not really bringing value or delivering inferior customer experience. So
It's
talking
time
about
to,
the
I guess,
Hmm?
yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to cut you. It's time to get democracy into, I mean, between customer and the organizations, I believe, in terms of
I would say,
transparency.
yeah, I would say, talking about the timing, how frequently you should ask, you should stay open all the time, 24 hours a day, listening to the customers in the channels in a ways that are convenient for the customers. And reviews and polls are just part of this system. And how frequently shall you like send the questionnaires? That really depends on the business. That really depends on the customers. You don't want to bother your B2B customers with long surveys frequently, just because you have account managers who can simply ask a couple of questions over a coffee when they discuss product features with the customer. So you don't really need this formal survey, isn't it? Or otherwise, the telecom providers that have millions of customers across the world, they cannot physically talk to every single customer. That's why they're using technical means to talk to the customer, messages and SMS and emails. And again, it's about balance between company interest and the client interest, so that we don't get toxic in our communication with customers. Because if we send too much frequently and don't do anything with the data, we just irritate the customers, and we see a lot of fatigue on customer side from the surveys. And basically that is the result of not very well managed voice of the customer strategy, when companies really spamming customers with surveys and asking to reply, and then customer just offers for the sake, leave me alone. I don't want to receive all these messages. I'll just say something so that I can have my life, and the company doesn't bother me any longer.
Right, it's important but tricky, and it's complicated to do. It's complicated to understand, each individual, because each individual is really different. Some people like getting this survey and review calls. Some people really just hate getting calls. So I guess we really cannot judge, and it's on you, companies. It's on you. It's just our advice on that. I mean, it's Olga's advice on this. I guess she's an expert in that. I won't say anything on this. All right. So on this go, my last question would be pretty simple and straightforward. I believe that so many young individuals, young professionals who'll be viewing this particular video and are focusing on the regular domains like technology and healthcare and the regular domains, right, like technology and everything. What would you suggest them? What would you advise to young professionals in your industry? How they can enter in customer experience? How they can explore the this niche industry proactively?
Actually, I would say to those who are just considering to get this new profession, be that young people or more mature people who are thinking about changing their professional career, that CX is an extremely exciting area to learn and to be in. So that's a great world, full of innovation, full of humanity, full of great people and great opportunities. So that's something really worth exploring. And what I would recommend to everyone who is interested to get this new profession, to get more knowledge, is really to look into high quality sources of information. because now the interest to customer experience is growing worldwide, and there is a lot of information available if you search for CX in various aspects of CX in many different languages. You will receive a lot of answers. So you need to be careful with the quality of information you're receiving, and I would strongly recommend you trust highly professional sources, like, for example, Customer Experience Professionals Association, which is the biggest association in the world that unites customer experience professionals. They have a lot of content. They have webinars, they have articles, they have educational courses. And by using these materials, you can be sure that you are getting fresh, professional, and high quality information. So my advice to all people who want to know more about customer experience is really look for opportunities. Don't expect textbooks like in management or in finance, because there are no textbooks yet, but just really look into live information, live experts, and make sure you select high quality people that you're going to get information from.
Talking about textbooks, yeah, there is one, I believe, at least there are two, which is she's the co-author of, Olga is the co-author of those two books, Customer Experience and Customer Experience 2. I would recommend all the viewers, especially the young individuals and the old individuals, of course, the experienced individuals, if they want to switch or understand about the customer experience and what's the industry is all about. So we'll share the link in the description, and I guess you guys can really buy it and read it right there and explore the industry. All right, I guess it was a great chat from for me. Of course, it's always enlightening, but I would love to have your review, Olga, on this. How did you really like the chat, or how did you find this chat to be?
Yeah, it was really interesting. Thank you very much for the questions. I would like just to add a couple of words about the books, that those books have been written not by a single author, but by a collection of authors from all over the world. And each book is a collection of short chapters, and each chapter is written by a different person from a different region, from a different industry. And all of those people have been carefully selected. They are famous, renowned CX professionals. So you can really trust that just by making a decision to get one book, you get more than 20 different professional views on the various aspects of customer experience. So I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, and you can be confident that those people are the source of high quality information. And I'm really thankful for the opportunity to share this information with you. Available on social media, on LinkedIn. So if you have questions after you have completed the reading, or you have some comments, I'm more than happy to hear from you. And looking forward to hear from you, and you enjoy the reading and exploring the fantastic world of CX.
Of course, I believe our viewers will enjoy this, and I personally will go through it, because of course, ultimately everybody, and the goal is all about customers, whether it's a service, a product, or anything. So I guess I should also go through that book, and I will share my personal review with you as well. I guess Olga mentioned that it is written by so many individuals, choosing carefully. All those are famous personalities. So by this, modestly, Olga wants to say that she is a known and famous personality out there. So just take care of that as well, and go through the book, go through this video. I mean, just listen to it, and just listen to the video, read that particular book, both the books, and do give a positive or a negative, or whatever the review is, to Olga, and let her also enjoy the power of review on that segment. So for now, I would say thank you so much for sharing such great insights with us, Olga. We look forward to having a great chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics in the international business industry. And of course, for our viewers, if you like this chat with Olga, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to ClickAway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do, and you have more coming in from industry leaders. This is Sagar for BizTalk World, signing off.